let's move on to number 5. Middle class people believe that they get paid to work. Okay, we're going back to the word work. They believe that they get paid to work, while the wealthy people, the rich people, know, they don't believe, they know that the major thing that they get paid for is to actually think. Okay, actually think. The rich people know that creative thinking is the most valuable, highest paid skill in the world. Any area, any business, this is the most important. The rich people know that getting rich is simply a matter of creating solutions for problems that other people don't solve. Okay, it's basically trading solutions for money. That's what it means. Doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or if you're an employee. If you solve problems for money, you'll get rich when you're becoming a better thinker, when you become more creative. So all you have to do is to train your mind to think in a way of solving problems. Independent, original, creative thinking is your most valuable asset. You could see that now happening, and I'm not sure that I should mention that. Maybe we'll even just remove that from the video. But you could see right now, I don't know when you're watching this video, but right now in the last few months, there was a whole rush of this ice bucket challenge that was happening. And you could see everyone, I mean, every kid, every person, every celebrity was doing the ice bucket challenge. And I was looking at this whole phenomenon. I was fascinated with the social media power, with the viral power of it and everything, with even the marketing value of it. But I was thinking, part of my brain was thinking, like, what are they thinking? I mean, is there any creative, original, confronting thoughts they're asking? Is that the right thing? Why am I doing it? I mean, there was all those people that were very creative in doing this challenge, but at the end, everybody did the same. And I'm not sure that anybody even thought, why are we doing it? Is it that valuable? Is it reaching the goal? What's the point of being part of the herd mentality, etc., etc.? So I really urge you to start thinking much more categorically, much more critically, much more creatively and originally, because that's what makes the difference. That's what will make the difference for you and won't make you part of the herd that everybody's doing the same. So, okay, so there's another. Okay, you need to think this way. What you need to realize is this: money, let me put it this way, money flows from ideas, and there is no limit of ideas. I mean, people sometimes come to me and says, well, I have this idea, but I don't want to tell anybody because maybe somebody will steal it from me. And I always say the same thing. Ideas are cheap. There's so many ideas. If you thought of a great idea in the morning, you can come up with 10 more by the evening. Okay, ideas are limitless. So if you get paid for your ideas, then ideas are limitless, then that means that money is limitless. There is no ceiling that, oh, that's the maximum I can earn. Just come up with more ideas, better ideas, and you get paid better. So the real secret for money, in my opinion at least, and all the rich people will agree to that, they will say to you again and again, the real secret for money is coming up with great solutions for difficult problems. And problems can be anything in your field or in your business or anywhere else, but I would suggest focus on your business. The good news is that it's possible for anyone to condition their mind to start thinking in solutions instead of thinking in problems, but that's your job. Start thinking. Okay? What you need to do is identify the biggest problem that your target audience right now have and, figure out how to solve it. I mean, it's not so difficult. Here's the exercise for you. It's very simple. It will take a couple of minutes, but I want you to do that with a pen on a paper, writing it down. I want you to identify what are the 3 most pressing problems that your target audience right now have in your area of expertise. For example, I don't know if those are the 3 most pressing, but 3 problems or 3 challenges that my target audience suffer from is 1, they don't implement enough. So they have lots of information, they have lots of ideas, they don't implement enough or fast enough. Second one, bad time management. They don't know how to manage their time, they're running out of time, they're doing, they don't know how to prioritize, etc., etc. So bad time management. Another thing is that our target audience have very little marketing knowledge, or at least sophisticated marketing knowledge. So those are 3 problems that easily, because I know how to do it, I know how to implement, I know how to manage my time, I know about marketing, then it's easy for me to create products that answer exactly those problems. And actually, it's not something that I need to do now. I already did it in the past. I'm creating it and doing it on a constant basis. And that's why we're very successful, because we answering or solving problems that our target audience is actually suffering from. So now it's your turn. Take a moment for that, pause this video, and come up with at least 3 problems that right now your target audience is suffering from. And I'll be here on the other side. Great. So I hope that you found for yourself at least 3 problems that your target audience is suffering from. Now the next exercise is come up with solutions, at least ideas for solutions for those problems. And try to be a little bit creative about that, because, you know, if, for example, right now, one of the things that I realize that is a problem for our audience is that they don't know about crowdfunding. They don't realize that crowdfunding is a powerful, powerful tool for actually to grow their business. So I said, okay, that's a problem. Let's find a solution for that. Now, the easiest way for me to do was to create a book about that. But there's tens or dozens of books about that. That they're all, you know, not delivering the right information, but it doesn't matter. There is already books. Okay, there are already even courses and stuff like this. So how do I create something that will be different, that will get their attention, that will be different? And I created something. I don't want to get into that right now, but that's what I want you to think right now is how can you solve those problems, but maybe with a little twist, maybe a little different than how anybody else's offer solution. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for that. Pause this video, write it down, and when you're ready, just click play again, and we're going to move to number, I think, 6. Okay, see you on the other side. All right, so welcome back, and we're moving to number 6. So let's first get rid of work versus thinking. This is really important. Make sure that you start thinking, getting paid for your thinking. The better thinking you have, the better you get paid. Every single rich person knows that. But let's move to the next one, number 6 right now. Number 6, middle class people believe that financial education, formal education, formal education will get them rich. That's why they go to university to learn professions. That's why they are trying to get the right diplomas, because they believe that this is what the formal education would be the one that will actually make them wealthy, because they can charge more for that, etc. Rich people believe that high financial IQ is actually the right path to wealth. So it's not that they don't value. The rich people also value education, even formal education, some of them, although many of them, and maybe more than many of them, of the real rich people in the world were never going through a formal education. They either dropped from college or didn't even arrive to college, not to talk about university. But it's not that they don't value it as much as they value a lot more high financial IQ. So here's a question for you, and we're going to work from that. First we do the exercise, and then we're going to work from that. So here's an exercise. I'd like you to take a moment right now and think for yourself and write it down. Again, it's important to write it down. When it comes to money, when it comes to finances, where are you today? So how much money you make, and that's for yourself. You don't have to share it with anybody, right? So how much money do you make right now? How much do you work for your money? What kind of saving do you have? Investments, if you have them. Are you a good investor or bad investor? Do you have any assets anything that has to do with finance and money? Just write down a kind of an overview, if you want, of where you are today with your money situation. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for that. When you're ready, just press play again, and I'll explain you how to do the next part. All right, so we're going to continue with the same way, but what I'm going to ask you right now is to take the next page and write down how would you like to see your financial situation. So just take a look at all the things that you wrote in the last list, with how much money you're making today, how much saving you have, investments, etc., etc. And just write down, if you had the right financial IQ, if your financial IQ was higher, how would you like to see the results for that? Okay, what will be your financial situation when your financial IQ is much, much higher? I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for that. Again, pause it for now, write it down, have a comparison between right now and where you want to be, and then press play again, and we're going to continue and show you how to work with that. All right, so right now you have 2 pages in front of you. One page describes the situation as it is right now when it comes to money and finances, but the other one represents actually your dream, where you want to be financially, with the amount of money you would like to have, the type of assets you would like to have, investment, saving, etc., etc. So you have this discrepancy between the situation today and the dream you want to have. And the question I have for you, it's more than a question actually, it's a confrontation a little bit, is why are you not there yet? What stops you from already achieving that so far? I mean, I'm pretty sure that it was not invented. You didn't just thought about this financial dream right now, right? It's something that you had before. Why aren't you there yet? So what I'd like you to do now is to take a minute and come up with all the reasons. If there's one, there's one. If there's three, there's three. I don't care. But all the reasons why aren't you yet achieved this dream of yours. Okay, so take a moment for that. Click play after that so we can discuss that and see how it works. Okay, so just take a moment for that. Why aren't you not there? Any reason, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever reasons you have, to why aren't you as wealthy, as free, as successful as your dream. Okay, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, so I really don't care what reason or reasons you wrote right now in your page why you're not as successful financially as you want to be or as your dream is, but I can tell you one thing for sure without even seeing the list. None of those are real reasons. They are all excuses. None of that is a real reason why you can't. And if you're not sure about that, if you're not believing me, I'm going to prove it to you in a funny way or in an interesting way, which I don't know if you ever thought about it this way. Let me ask you to consider something. If you would read for 20 minutes a day from a book about finances or business growth, for 20 minutes a day, so in a week, okay, over a week, which is, let's call it 6 days, you would read for 2 full hours. For every week, 2 full hours. Let's say that over a year we give you 2 weeks discount, so 50 weeks over a year. 50 weeks double 2 hours, that's 100 hours per year. Okay, 100 hours per year. Let's put it down here so you can see the numbers. So this is 100 hours per year. Now, multiply this number by the number of years that passed since you were 21 years old. Okay, in my case, I'm 46 right now. So past 25 years, I could have read 2,500 hours. Okay, in the last 25 years. Let's take it in a different way. Let's say that you're reading one chapter a day. One chapter of same books, okay? Just to show you a little bit of a different calculation. One chapter a day is over 6 days a week, that's 6 chapters a day. Over 50 weeks, let's put it over a year. So we're talking about 300 chapters. So you'll read 300 chapters per year of finance book, money book, business growth book, anything that can help you get better in your finances. So now again, I want you to multiply it by the number of years that passed since you were grown up, let's call it 21 years old, just as an example. So for me, 25 years that have passed, double it by 300, that's a lot of chapters. Just for you to know, 300 chapters, that's about 15 books. Because there, on average, for a non-fiction book, there is 20 chapters. So this is 15 books. So 15 books over 25 years, that would be, I need to look at my numbers, but that would be 375 books about money and business growth in my adult life. So it doesn't matter really on what number you're looking for, on 25 hours or 375 books. Do you really want to tell me that any one of those reasons that you wrote for yourself, any one of those excuses that you wrote for yourself would not be eliminated by one of these? I mean, if you would have spent 2,500 hours reading and learning about finances, money and business growth, wouldn't that put you today in a fantastic situation financially? Of course it would. If you would absorb 375 books about, I'm not talking right now about anything else, seminars, workshops, CDs, DVDs, whatever, just books. 375 books about the topic of money, finance and growing your business. Can you see that the impact that it would make on your bank account? Simply bottom line bank account. I'm sure you do. And if you don't, then, read the numbers again. It's so important. So, well, I actually already did that, a long time ago when I went to college. I went to entrepreneurship college. I think I was about 21, I think maybe 22, so about those numbers. And as an assignment, before we started the year of studies, we got a list of 40, I think it was 40 of the top finances, business growth, and personal development books to read. That was the assignment. And I remember the first book on the list was Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. And there was The Magic of Thinking Big, and there was some business. I can't remember all of the books, but I took it very literally. If that's the assignment, I'm going to do that. So I actually didn't have the money or not even the possibility to find those books. They were all in English, where I grew up. That didn't fit. So I sat in the university library, and I actually read all those books, or almost all of them. I think that before the college started, I read 37 or 38 of those books. And it surprised me when I came into the class, if you want, into the course. We were a very small course, very small group that was very elite, if you want. We were chosen for that in a very special college. And I found out that from the 25 or 26 students that we were, I'm the only one that actually went through the list and read almost all the books. Well, the others, they read one or two or maybe none. And that put me in such an advantage compared to them, because I started flying and my project was finishing first with the highest funding. We got the biggest company as a result of that, etc., etc. A lot of things happened. But what was important that I'm trying to say, and that connects into that I made a decision for myself at that time. I made this vow, if you want, to myself, that this is so valuable that I will read one book a week, which will be a non-fiction book, which will help me to grow either personally, financially, or on business. And for the last 20-something years, I am pretty much doing it. On average per year, I for sure read 50 books, if not more. Sometimes there are weeks that goes by and I didn't manage to finish a book, but then comes a vacation, I will read 3 or 4 or 5 of them. I didn't read, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I didn't read a fiction book for years. But non-fiction books, I'm drinking them like water, because that's what brings me here. So here's a question for you. Or you know what, before the question, let's put it as an exercise instead of just making it intellectual. Write it down. What I'd like to, it will take you 20 seconds, but just take a moment and calculate the same calculation I did. So if you would have 100 hours per year, I don't know what your age is, but you know, so how many years passed since you were 21? If it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is, multiply them by the number of hours that you could actually learn and study finances and business, and do the same calculation for the 15 books a year, multiply by the number of years that passed since you were 21. I'm going to give you a few seconds for that. When you're ready, just play the video again, and then I'm going to show you what we can do with that. All right? All right, so I hope that you kind of get shocked from the possibilities. And you know, this is absolutely shown in your bank account. If you would have done that, then that will show in your bank account in a different ways than it is today. Now let me ask you a question. When is the best time ever to plant a fruit tree? Let me give you a hint. The answer is not in the summer. It's also not in the winter. It's also not in the spring. The right answer is the best time to plant a fruit tree is exactly 20 years ago, isn't it? Because 20 years ago, if you would plant that tree, you would get the fruits today and you could enjoy them. But, you know, if you didn't do that, then when is the next best time to plant a fruit tree? Today, right? Because transformation starts today. And this is a time for you to make a commitment. If you want to get something out of this whole Financial IQ seminar or masterclass that we're spending these hours together, is this. Get home and start reading for 20 minutes a day. Start getting the best books right now in the market for finances, for growing a business, and start reading 20 minutes a day. You can find 20 minutes every single day to read about that. It's a matter of getting into a habit. It's a matter of making a commitment that every single day I'm going to read a chapter or spend 20 minutes on that. It doesn't need to take more than that. 20 years from now, just imagine the results, but you don't have to wait for 20 minutes. Okay? You will see the results a lot faster when you start putting that commitment. And this is your choice. My suggestion is right now, I'm going to give you a minute for that. Pause this video, write down for yourself a commitment. I commit to read one chapter of a non-fiction book about money and business growth every single day, or I'm going to read a chapter, I'm going to spend 20 minutes on that, whatever you want. Make the commitment for yourself and write down for yourself the first book you're going to read. If you have it, that's great. If you don't have it, you can download it from Amazon as a Kindle book immediately, right? You can start immediately without excuses. So I'm going to give you a minute for that. Pause this video, make the commitment for yourself, write down for yourself the name of the first 1 or 2 or 3 books that you're going to start reading, and come back and we'll continue. All right, number 7. This is the last one I want to teach you. There's more stuff that I want to cover today, but these are the 7th, if you want, the 7th thing you need to know about money in order to start changing your financial IQ. And again, it's the difference between the middle class and the rich. And the middle class believe this is about investment. I don't know what's your experience with investment, what's your beliefs about investment, what's your attitude towards investment, but you know, the middle class people believe that investments are risky. Okay? They believe that, let's see if it would work here. Yeah. They believe that investments are risky, while the rich people believe that if you have the right financial IQ, then investments are actually very, very, very safe. And let's see if that will stick. Yeah, so when we talk about investments, for the rich people, when you have the high financial IQ, they believe that investment is very, very safe. Now, you can become wealthy through different vehicles, right? There are different vehicles that can make you wealthy. And you can, you can become self-employed. You can start a business, which is more than just you there. You can maybe start trading in the stock exchange. maybe you want to buy a franchise, maybe you get into a network marketing company. It's really, those are just different vehicles. Now here's something that is really, really important for you to know. It doesn't matter what the vehicle is, more people lose money in each vehicle than those people that make money in them. So it's not about the vehicle, it's about the driver. If the vehicle doesn't make you money, the driver, which is you, is going to make you money. This is really important. See, money doesn't make money, it's people that make money. So it's something to remember. So at the end, it's not so much about if you choose the right vehicle, but are you willing to learn whatever you need to learn in order to run that vehicle very, very successfully. So this is all about financial IQ, of course. Now, when you're ready at the end of the day to start investing, there are three main ways to say, okay, I'm getting into a new vehicle, how can I do that? So those are three different investment strategies that people have. Usually the poor people and middle class people will go to something like, well, you take your money, whatever it is that you have, and you give it to somebody else and you tell them, hey, you know better than me, then you go invest it. Okay? That's when you go to financial advisors, that's when you go to consultants, that's when you tell people that, you know, they should help you do that. And I believe personally, and most rich people would believe, that this is a bad strategy, okay, by itself. Because those people that you're giving your money to them have their own agenda. I mean, when you go to a bank and you go to the investment consultant and he suggests that you will pick up certain stocks or certain instruments or whatever it is, they have their own agenda. Their agenda is not yours, it's theirs. And I don't like that personally. You know, I don't like that other people have an agenda for my money. I want only my agenda to count when it comes to my money. So when you go down this road, you are going to lose your money, or you can lose your money big time. And you know, nobody really cares that much. I'll give you an example. My dad, my father, he took actually more than once. He took twice all his money, all what he had for savings and everything, and he put it in the stock exchange, because it was in periods where the stock exchange was going, you know, totally high and crazy, like crazy. And he didn't know what he's doing, so he just went to an advisor or to an investment consultant, and he gave them the money and says, you handle that. In both cases, he lost everything that he had. I mean, everything. One time he lost not just his money, but also my sister's money. So, and which he's feeling bad about it until today. And today he's doing it a third time, but he thinks that he have better advisors. And you know, I just can see that at the end of it, it's going to go to the same place, because that's what there is. You know, those are people that they are not investing their own money. If you will ask them how much money of yours you're investing in what you're suggesting me, they will say to you, if they're honest, they will say nothing, and they will tell you, I'm just consultant. I'm not investing myself. So why would you give your money to them? I had a similar experience to myself together with Vered. We were investing in real estate, which we didn't know anything about it. Still today, I don't know anything about real estate, but it sounded like a good thing. And we had a friend that was an expert about that. He was an expert. He was an investor. He was an expert in investing in certain areas and everything. And at one point, he came to us and says, there's an opportunity. I'm investing in there. You should invest. And we didn't really like the idea. We didn't know enough about it. Not that I didn't like the investment. I just didn't know enough about it to put quite a lot of money there. But at one point he kind of said, yeah, I think it's a very good investment, you should do it. And we asked, are you going to put your own money in that? And he says, I'm going to put it in exactly the same investment as yours, exactly the same. And we said, fine. And we gave the money, and it was quite a lot of money. And a couple of years later, this went bust. The project never came up. We never saw the money. We'll never see it. When we talked to this friend of us, he was a friend at that time, and we asked what's going on and why did it happen. He says, oh, you didn't know? I saw that already 9 months ago, so I pulled out. So he pulled out from the investment. We didn't know about it. We stayed, and you know, everything got lost. So that's what happens when you count on other people to do the work for you. It's your job to develop your own financial IQ in order to decide what is the right investment and how to do that. A second strategy, if you want, to investment is those people that are saying, well, I'm going to try my luck. Why? Because you saw a friend or you saw somebody that is very successful on a stock exchange, on internet marketing, on trading, whatever it is. And you say, well, if this idiot can, probably I can do that too, right? So you just look at how they're doing it, maybe read a few things on the internet, and then you go and do that. And this is even worse strategy than the first one. Just to give you an idea of how bad, how not so smart is this strategy, is imagine that you go on a plane. Okay, you go on a plane and you're looking at the pilot and you see the pilot flying the plane, and after the pilot just finished flying the plane, he says, okay, I saw how he's doing it, now I'm going to do that. And you just get into the plane and you're flying it, and you know when you're going to fly it. Even if you're going to get it up, you're going to get it down very, very quickly. And that's what's going to happen with your money when you chose this strategy. So the third strategy, which this is what most rich people would do and what I would recommend you to do, is you invest your time in order to learn how to fly. So you're not getting into an airplane and just flying it because you saw somebody else can do that, but you actually take the time, pay for lessons, do the exercise, do the practice, learn all the theories before you actually get into a plane, and then you get somebody to coach you and be with you through the process until you feel confident enough that you can do it yourself. So this is the example of a plane, but it's exactly with your money you want to do the same. So instead of us saying, wow, this guy is so lucky making so much money, you might want to start asking the question of what are the internal, we don't have it anymore, but what are the internal values and the external values of those person that is actually supporting him or her in order to be so successful in that vehicle, whatever it is. You want to ask yourself, what does he leverage or she leverages that I don't know, and start finding it out. If this person is willing to actually teach you how they're doing it, pay anything you can afford to get that information. This is crucial, because why do you want to try to fly the plane yourself when they can teach you exactly how to do that? They actually can save you 10 to 20 years of learning curve that they had to go through, and a lot more money. Okay, this is really, really crucial. So my question for you is, that's the little exercise, is who do you want to learn from? What is it that you would like to learn? Who would you like to learn from? So just take a moment now and pause the video for a moment and just think, what strategy will I want to study and from whom? And before you go there, let me give you a little hint. My suggestion in the financial situation that it is today, in the market it is today, and probably if you're belonging to our target audience, where you want to invest is in your business. Okay, that's my suggestion. I will talk later about why you don't want to get right now into any MLM or network marketing. You don't want to get into trading, into Forex or stocks or whatever it is, why you don't want to get into real estate. If it's something that you really feel the urge for it, go for it, but then find the right person to learn from. Somebody that can prove you that they are successful, and somebody that is willing to teach you everything, not just, the little bit of what we can see from the iceberg, but everything. So just write in for yourself, what would you like to learn and from whom, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, now that you're back, make sure that this person that you chose for is wealthy and successful because of this strategy that he's wanting to teach you, that he's willing to teach you. Make sure that if the person is somebody you don't know, that you find out everything about them, that you approach them, and you see if that feels right, if that person is right. If it's somebody that you know already, find out how you can spend more time with them, find out how you can learn from them, find out if you can do things together, if you can actually shadow them on how they're doing it before you're doing it for yourself. Those are a few suggestions. All right, so we covered the 7 things that if you'll start applying what we just said right now, even if you're not doing anything, just by filling up those questions, your financial IQ starts raising. You start thinking differently, you start realizing that rich people think different than middle class people. It's a process, it's a start. Don't expect that tomorrow your bank account is going to magically inflate, but I'm pretty sure that you will start seeing results because you're going to start think differently, you're going to start seeing things differently, and as a result of that your actions will be different. I hope that makes sense for you.